All right, let's start off with last night. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, in a very tight game, beat the Dallas Mavericks in a game, by the way, the Dallas Mavericks probably could have won. Series is now tied up at 2. Tough game yesterday for Luka Doncic. 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 34 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. In the outcome in this one, the Mavericks were 1-point favorites over on FanDuel. They went up to about 1.5 at the time of tip-off. But needless to say, this one could have went either way. And this series, by the way, could probably go either way as well. But the messaging at this point has to be for the Dallas Mavericks, which is this could go 7 games. And the bottom line is that when Luka plays well, they usually win. When Kyrie Irving plays well, they usually win. They just haven't been getting that consistently in the series. Kyrie was asked about what the message is after losing the game. And as of now, Kyrie says it is not time to panic.
Don't panic and just stay poised. It's not time to have irrational emotions towards a game like tonight. You know what I mean? Just because we know how we played, we were honest with each other, and we had the game pretty much in our hands and in control. And then down the stretch, we just didn't make enough of the clutch plays, and there were a few offensive rebounds, there were a few open threes, and Shai got going as well. He hit a lot of tough twos. I had 5 fouls, so there was a few times I got matched up at the end where I should have done a better job of just forcing them into help and just sticking to the game plan. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. As one of the leaders of the team, it's definitely part of my responsibility to take my accountability, my responsibility for what I did and how I can improve moving forward. But in terms of how our team played, I feel like we played well enough to get the W tonight, in the majority of the game, but we just didn't finish the job, and the little things matter. Free throws and offensive rebounds and those 50-50 basketballs we saw when they beat us in OKC, what that looked like. So tonight was one of those times where it got down close to the end of the game, and we just couldn't get over that hump.
Yeah, and as of right now, no time to panic. I think on either side, it seems like a coin flip type series. Now, on the other side of the coin, you have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Indeed, could be time to panic, especially if Donovan Mitchell is going to miss another game. By the way, he missed last night's game against Boston. And credit to the Cavs, they covered the spread. The line went up to 12.5 before tip. Boston wins 109-102. Jason Tatum with 33 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Jaylen Brown also had a nice game, 27 points, 8 rebounds. By the way, the total went down from 207 to 204. We also learned that Donovan Mitchell is worth about 3.5 points in the NBA from seeing that outcome yesterday. But nationally, right now, Boston is on cruise control to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe even get to the finals. We'll see what happens between Indiana and New York as they play tonight. Jason Tatum talked about playing on a team last night that has a lot of players playing for each other, and indeed that was the reason he says the outcome was what it was last night.
You guys got a screenshot of what it's like being on a team. It's like having 15 brothers. We spend so much time with each other from preseason or, this off season till now, 9 months later, 90 some odd games that, we there for each other. And even the most mentally tough, strong person can use some encouragement sometime, from your teammates, and just letting you know that he got my back and vice versa, and the rest of the guys. We have talks like that all the time. You guys got to see it because he had a mic on, but just shows the togetherness of this team.
And indeed, it would be the case if the Boston Celtics are able to win the next game, they move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, tonight is a big night in the WNBA. It is the debut of a lot of players, including number 1 overall pick, Caitlin Clark. Also, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoza, among many, as the WNBA opens up their season this evening. They also made the announcement earlier this morning that the new team headed to the Bay Area has a new name, or just a name in general. They're an expansion team. They'll be called the Valkyries. The Golden State Valkyries will begin competition in 2025. Meanwhile, how about Caitlin Clark's head coach at Iowa decides to call it quits after 32 years, deciding to retire Lisa Bluder announces her retirement after winning 884 career games with the Hawkeyes. Congratulations to her, and now she can watch Caitlin Clark maybe in person too. OG Anunoby has been ruled out, by the way, for Game 5 for the New York Knicks. This is not a surprise. He's got a hamstring issue, going to miss the third straight game with the strain. Precious Achiuwa should start at power forward. Anunoby could potentially play Friday night in Game 6, but as of right now, other than a pool workout, has not resumed running, so probably up against it for Friday as well. Bit of a surprise with a contract extension given out yesterday, but maybe we shouldn't have been. With the performance last season that Jared Goff had at quarterback for the Detroit Lions, he gets his bag, $212 million for Jared Goff. Probably would have thought this would have happened with the Rams several years ago, but no, happens with the Lions. $170 million guaranteed. Number 1 overall pick formerly with the Rams, as I mentioned. Highest paid Lion in franchise history. They've also given contract extensions to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's the highest paid wide receiver. And Penei Sewell at 4 years, $112 million. So Goff will be in Detroit for the long term. Also, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have agreed to a contract extension with Antoine Winfield, 4 years, $84.1 million. They've now re-signed Winfield, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Levante David. Winfield at $21.025 million per season is now the highest paid defensive back heading into 2024. It was announced by Fox Sports yesterday that Tom Brady is going to make his debut as an announcer during the Week 1 matchup of the Cowboys and Browns alongside Kevin Burkhardt. It's a 4:25 Eastern game. And by the way, if you're saying to yourself, wait a second, how do you know the Cowboys and Browns are playing Week 1? That is because the NFL is constantly leaking their schedule before everything becomes official tomorrow. Also, the Buffalo Bills have a new wide receiver. His name is Marquez Valdez-Scantling, of course, former Packer, former member of the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. It's a 1-year deal, according to ESPN, worth $4.5 million. By the way, we've got some confirmed games from the NFL through the leaks. We know Thursday Night Football's opener is going to be the Ravens and Chiefs. We had this yesterday. Friday's first game ever in Brazil on a Friday night is the Packers and Eagles. Sunday, as we mentioned, 4:25 Eastern, opening weekend on the 8th, Cowboys-Browns. Monday Night Football, the Jets open up the season again, hoping for better things from Aaron Rodgers. In this one, Bengals play the Chiefs on the 15th, September the 15th, Bengals at Chiefs there. All right, very quickly, in hockey last night, the Hurricanes came back to defeat the Rangers. So New York still leads the series 3-2. They can close it out later in the week. And in that series, also the Dallas Stars defeated the Colorado Avalanche. And the Stars lead the series 3-1. Major League Baseball made the announcement official yesterday. Games will no longer air Sunday mornings on Peacock Network, or Peacock Streaming, as I should say. They have inked a new contract with Roku, and those will start on early Sunday morning games. They've signed the contract to make it official. It's being called Sunday Leadoff. In addition, NASCAR is adding an in-season tournament like the NBA to their NASCAR schedule. That will officially begin in 2025.